Let's get right into it. Number 10. The itch reflex. Picture this. You're sitting peacefully, minding your own business, when suddenly your arm itches like it's hiding a dark secret. You scratch. Nothing's there. Congratulations, you just activated a multi-million-year-old anti-parasite alarm system. Back when humans were basically furry appetizers wandering through parasite paradise, skin-crawling sensations were essential. Tiny bugs, mites, and the occasional bloodsucker weren't just annoying. They were little packages of disease. So your nervous system developed this overzealous itch equals danger reflex. You feel a tickle, you scratch, hopefully yeeting the intruder before it sets up shop in your bloodstream. Here's the fun twist. Your body doesn't care if it's an actual bug or just a random hair follicle getting frisky. The nerve fibers that transmit itch are basically trigger-happy interns, always reporting possible parasite threat, whether or not there's evidence. That's why you sometimes get phantom itches, especially when someone mentions lice or fleas. Yeah, I bet your scalp just twitched. You're welcome. From an evolutionary standpoint, false alarms are better than missing the one mosquito carrying medieval death juice. But now, in the modern world where your biggest predator is maybe a Wi-Fi outage, the itch reflex is hilariously outdated. You scratch at ghost bugs, like you're auditioning for a flea circus. So the next time you scratch your arm for no reason, just remember, it's your body still fighting a war against invisible parasites like a paranoid medieval knight swinging at shadows. Number 9. Goosebumps. You know that thing your skin does when you get cold, creeped out, or emotionally wrecked by a sad playlist at 2 a.m. Goosebumps. Tiny mountains of flesh making you look like a freshly plucked chicken. This weird reflex comes from your body's obsession with fur. Our ancestors were basically slightly naked mammals who used to have way more hair. When a predator showed up or the temperature dropped, their tiny muscles would flex, hairs would stand up, and boom. Suddenly they looked puffier, warmer, and slightly harder to chew. Think of it as nature's version of an intimidation filter plus an emergency blanket. Fast forward to now, where our fur coat is about as intimidating as a balding chihuahua. Goosebumps are still here trying their best. Feeling scared during a horror movie? Goosebumps. Chilly office air conditioning? Goosebumps. Listening to a song that makes you feel like a tragic movie protagonist staring out a rainy window? Yep, goosebumps. Scientifically, it's called the piloerection reflex, which sounds way more scandalous than it is. But it's basically your nervous system saying, raise the fur. Oh wait, where's the fur? Spoiler, gone. So instead of warmth or intimidation, all you get is skin that looks like it lost a fight with a stapler. In other words, goosebumps are the evolutionary equivalent of Windows Vista, outdated, glitchy, but somehow still running in the background. Number 8. The Startle Jump. Ever dropped a spoon and nearly launched yourself into orbit? That's your startle reflex. Your body's ancient tripwire system for something moved. Maybe it's trying to eat you. Back when rustling leaves meant predator instead of neighbor's cat, an overreaction could save your life. Your brainstem controls this. A loud bang, sudden touch, or even a shadow, and boom, you flinch, jerk, sometimes squeak like a broken accordion. It's the fastest survival circuit we've got. No thinking required. Just noise, jump, don't die. Here's the kicker. This reflex is so deeply wired it doesn't update for modern threats. That's why your nervous system reacts to toast popping out of a toaster like it's a lion lunging at you. Or why dropping your phone on your face in bed feels like surviving a surprise assassination attempt. Your body is convinced you just escaped being devoured, when in reality you're just embarrassed and slightly bruised. Even babies do it. The Moro reflex makes newborns fling their arms out when startled, as if they're falling from a tree, which, by the way, is exactly what that reflex evolved to prevent. Problem is, most of us haven't lived in trees for a while, so now it's just awkward spasm theater. So, next time you leap out of your skin at a car backfiring, remember, your body is trying to save you from predators you'll never meet. Basically, you're still equipped for jungle survival, while living in a world where your deadliest predator is an expired coupon. Number 7. Sneezing at dust. You walk into an attic, breathe in some dusty air, and suddenly your nose launches a snot cannon like it's defending a medieval fortress. Sneezing isn't just about allergies or colds. It's your body's ancient anti-parasite sprinkler system. See, tiny invaders like fungi, pollen, and parasite eggs used to hitch rides into your lungs. That would have been catastrophic because lungs are supposed to be an exclusive members-only club for oxygen, not a bed and breakfast for microbes. So your nasal passages evolved hair-trigger alarms. Irritate them even slightly, and your diaphragm slams down like Thor's hammer, ejecting air, spit, and microscopic projectiles at about 100 miles per hour. Basically, you've got a biological leaf blower built into your face. The problem? Like most ancient defenses, it's not great at distinguishing actual threats from random fluff. So now you sneeze when you step into sunlight, a phenomenon called the photic sneeze reflex. Yeah, up to 30% of humans do it. Or because you sniffed black pepper too aggressively, or because your body decided dust was secretly plotting a coup. And here's the kicker. Sneezes are contagious. Watching someone else sneeze, or even reading the word sneeze, might set you off. Bet you just felt it. You're welcome. That's your mirror neurons syncing up with parasite paranoia. So sneezing is less about my body is broken, and more about my ancient immune system is still convinced spores are everywhere. Which honestly is kind of adorable, like having a guard dog that barks at both burglars and plastic bags. Number 6. The gag reflex. Imagine trying to swallow a pill and instead you're choking, retching, and looking like you're reenacting a horror movie. That's your gag reflex, a prehistoric burglar alarm for your throat. Your ancestors didn't have TikTok tutorials for how to cook safely. They just shoved whatever berries, bones, and mystery meats they found into their mouths. A lot of those things were spiky, sharp, or parasitic. So evolution built a safety net. Touch the back of your throat, and your body instantly goes nope, and kicks it out before it can scrape, stab, or hatchworm babies in your esophagus. It's basically a panic button for your airway. Too big? Too sharp? Suspiciously parasite-shaped? Out it goes. Great for cavemen. Less great when you're just trying to get through a dentist appointment without traumatizing the hygienist. Fun fact. The gag reflex is hyperactive in kids because they were more likely to shove unsafe objects in their mouths. As you grow up, it usually calms down. Unless, of course, you're one of those unlucky people who gags brushing your teeth. Proof your body is still convinced toothpaste is a deadly parasite delivery system. The irony? Parasites and pathogens are now more likely to sneak in through soft foods or contaminated water, not giant bones. But your throat doesn't know that. It's still guarding the gate like a paranoid bouncer at a nightclub, ready to kick out even the most innocent guest. So yeah, every time you gag on a vitamin, it's not weakness. It's your inner caveman screaming, better puke than parasite. Number 5. Hair as tripwires. Ever noticed how a single hair brushing your arm can send you into full slap fight mode? That's not overreaction, it's evolution turning your body into a bug detection system. Back when fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes carried delightful souvenirs like malaria or bubonic plague, your skin hair was basically an alarm grid. A parasite crawling across your arm would bend one hair just slightly, and bam! Your nerves screamed, intruder alert. You'd sweat, scratch, or flick it off before it could sink its fangs in. Fast forward to now, you're not usually covered in bloodthirsty insects, hopefully, but the system is still running. That's why you feel a single strand of hair tickling your neck like it's plotting something, even though it's just your own hair being dramatic. Or why brushing past a cobweb makes you react like you've walked into an interdimensional trap. Ironically, the hair trigger, pun intended, doesn't care if the threat is real. A mosquito? Yes. Your shirt tag? Also yes. Which is why you sometimes sweat at phantom bugs, like a paranoid air traffic controller. So while body hair lost most of its original insulation purpose, it stuck around as your personal tripwire system. Think of it as nature's motion sensors, except instead of lasers and alarms, it's you slapping yourself in public like a confused ninja. Number 4. Vomiting on cue. There's nothing quite like your stomach suddenly deciding, nope, everything must leave now, and violently ejecting lunch like it's trying to win a projectile competition. Vomiting feels miserable, but it's actually one of evolution's favorite tricks against parasites. See, your ancestors didn't have expiration dates on their mammoth steaks. If something tasted even a little funky, or if microscopic freeloaders started a rave in the digestive tract, your body would pull the emergency eject lever. Vomiting rapidly clears out food before parasites can cozy up in your intestines and start charging rent. It's like pulling the fire alarm the second you smell smoke, even if it was just someone burning toast. The system is managed by the chemoreceptor trigger zone in your brainstem, which is basically a paranoid health inspector. It detects toxins, nasty chemicals, or even suspicious nerve signals from your gut, and then orders your stomach to reverse course. That's why motion sickness, food poisoning, and even the idea of something gross can set you off. Your brain has decided, better puke unnecessarily than risk hosting a parasite party. And here's the kicker, vomiting is contagious. Seeing someone else gag, smelling vomit, or even hearing it, sorry for that image, can trigger your own stomach to join in. That's an ancient social defense. If one member of the tribe ate parasite soup, the rest of you better purge just in case. Gross solidarity at its finest. So yeah, next time you're hugging a toilet after bad sushi, remember you're not weak. You're reenacting a survival ritual that's been running since cavemen accidentally licked moldy mammoth meat. Number 3. Fevers as fire. You ever get sick and suddenly your body's like, let's roast ourselves alive? That'll help? That's a fever, your immune system's dramatic, over-the-top parasite defense mechanism. Parasites and pathogens are picky about temperature. Most thrive in the cozy 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit range. So when your body senses invaders, it cranks up the thermostat, making you sweat, shiver, and generally feel like microwaved garbage. The logic: cook the parasites before they can multiply. Think of it as your body putting itself into a biological sauna, except way less relaxing and with none of the cucumber water. The evolutionary brilliance is that even a couple degrees higher can slow down parasite reproduction. Meanwhile, your immune cells go full beast mode in the heat, working faster and harder. Unfortunately, the trade-off is you lying in bed delirious, swearing your blanket is plotting against you. Modern medicine calls fevers a symptom, but ancient biology treats them like warfare strategy. And fun fact, studies show that letting mild fevers run their course can actually shorten illness, because you're giving parasites a heat stroke they didn't sign up for. Of course, your body sometimes overshoots and cooks you too hot, which is less helpful sauna, and more oops, we set the thermostat on lava mode. But hey, evolution isn't subtle. It's more like, better sweat buckets and hallucinate than let parasites turn your intestines into an Airbnb. Basically, your fever is a prehistoric barbecue pit, and the uninvited guests are what's on the grill. Number 2. Diarrhea escape plan. Imagine being a parasite that just got comfy inside a human gut, and suddenly, flush. That's diarrhea. Your body's emergency evacuation protocol for intruders. Parasites, bacteria, viruses, anything sketchy that sets up shop in your intestines, triggers your gut to hit the fast-forward button. Instead of calmly digesting, everything gets flushed out at maximum speed, before the invaders can multiply or leach too many nutrients. It's disgusting, but effective. Think of it as pulling the plug on a pool party before the freeloaders even get to cannonball. This reflex is controlled by the enteric nervous system, aka your second brain. When it detects toxins or invaders, it signals your intestines, forget absorbing, just eject. The result? You on the bathroom floor, questioning your life choices and praying to any deity that'll listen. The irony is that diarrhea can sometimes be overprotective. A mild invader might have been manageable, but your gut reacts like it's facing a zombie apocalypse. So you end up dehydrated and miserable, all because your digestive system panicked at the sight of a suspicious microbe. From an evolutionary lens, though, it makes sense. Sacrifice a few hours or days of dignity to avoid months of parasites draining you dry. Modern humans hate it, but ancient humans probably survived countless infestations thanks to this messy evacuation protocol. So yeah, diarrhea is basically your body's version of pulling the fire alarm, except the sprinklers are your intestines, and absolutely everyone has to leave. Number 1. Nighttime restlessness. Ever tried to sleep while your skin feels like it's hosting an invisible rave? Tossing, turning, scratching. It's annoying, but this too is parasite paranoia baked into your DNA. See, parasites are sneaky jerks. Many of them, mosquitoes, bedbugs, lice, fleas, are most active at night when their victims are blissfully unconscious. Your ancestors, lying in caves or grass huts, were basically buffet tables. If they stayed perfectly still, parasites could feast unnoticed for hours. So the brain developed a simple but effective countermeasure. Don't let yourself sleep too peacefully. Toss, twitch, roll over, shake off the bugs before they settle in. This is why microarousals, tiny sleep disruptions, happen dozens of times a night without you even realizing. Your body isn't broken. It's running ancient software designed to stop things from burrowing into your flesh while you snooze. Even your urge to scratch more at night isn't random. It's your immune system kicking up histamine production in sync with your circadian rhythm, as if to say, hey, parasites are probably clocking in. Let's keep this person itchy enough to notice. Sure, in the modern world, most of us aren't fighting off swarms of night-biting freeloaders. But the restlessness lingers. That's why a single mosquito in your bedroom can feel like psychological torture. Your brain is primed to treat it as a life-or-death situation. So the next time you wake up tangled in sheets, half annoyed and half itchy, just remember, you're reenacting an ancient survival dance designed to keep bloodsuckers from draining you dry in the dark. Congratulations, you're the restless night guard of your own body. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.